you struggling with trying to do the Robinson curriculum, but you haven't actually purchased the CDs or online access? Are you having a hard time and you're wondering, is this worth the purchase of $200 if I'm not even really seeing it happening as it is just trying to do it? You've heard the method, you've heard the independent study method, you've heard the daily routine. You know, you could find that online. You could find the book list online. That's no secret. But you're kind of trying to do it and it's not working out. This video is going to go over the reasons why you're having a hard time. So for that and more, stay tuned. Our House. Hi everybody, this is Karen. Welcome back to our channel called Our House. Now this video is not meant to make anybody feel bad that doesn't want to do the Robinson curriculum. Maybe you can't afford it, although realize that there is a scholarship fund if you call in and ask about it, but it's not geared towards anybody like that. This video is geared towards people who were in my similar situation. I'd say about 6 or 7 years ago, I was in this boat where you've heard the method and you kind of try to implement it on your own without purchasing it. And then it's not working out. You're having a hard time and you think this isn't working. So you start adding in a bunch of other stuff, or you switch to something else entirely because you're thinking this isn't even working. I don't see the value in spending $200 on this. I'm moving on to something else. So this video, we're going to go over a few reasons why you're having a hard time. All right. So number one, let's talk about the books. Now, 6, 7 years ago, it wasn't like it was today where there's all these library apps and, 80% of these books from the Robinson list are probably on Kindle or open source. So I didn't really have that just a few years ago. You have more options now, but still there are many titles that you're just not going to find anywhere else. These titles are not at your library. You can't just reserve it and go pick it up. So it's going to be more work. You might have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time if you're going about it that way. It's so much easier to actually have the CDs or have the online access. It's just easier to be able to print it out. Now, part of this program mentality is to not have any screen time, any electronic devices. So if you want to stay with that, then obviously you're going to be limited as far as all the Kindles or reading off the computer or things like that. So you're gonna have to make some choices here. So I'm just letting you know why you might be having a hard time. Number one, as far as the books, you don't have all the books. It's difficult sometimes to find all these titles, and so you might get frustrated and think this list isn't for me, or I just need to try something else. So I'm just explaining to you why you might be having a hard time. If you just had the CDs or the online access, it would make a huge difference. And these are all things I wish I could go back in time and tell myself, because I really wanted it to work, but I was having a hard time. Having the books or having the online access, which is a newer thing, makes a huge difference to be able to just print the book. You always have the book no matter what. Number two is the essay writing. Now, if you just hear other people talk about how Robinson curriculum, you write an essay every day. All right, so then you try to implement that. You might have a hard time if you just really don't know where to start. You don't know how to teach a child how to write an essay. You don't know that you can start with simple copy work or dictation, how to use the McGuffey readers for this, and then building up to a paragraph, and then building up to an essay, how to correct them, how to give them feedback. These are all things that on your own, you're not going to really find a lot of direction or help. And so you're going to have a hard time. And this, again, is something I wish I could have gone back in time to tell myself. There is a great community on Facebook of RC families, and you will find a wealth of information in how different families go about this, how teaching their child how to do the essay every day. And some people alternate it with other activities like 10 sentences with their vocabulary words, or just other ideas, just other writing ideas. And you'll find that in the group. You'll find a bit more in the course outline, which is of tremendous value. The course outline, many people say that alone is worth the price of the curriculum. Just the way how to implement it, everything from the books, math, how to set up the study environment, just all the ingredients for the recipe of success. Now, you can substitute ingredients, you can add in your own little things or take out things that you're allergic to, but having that recipe is the first step in success. All right, so number 3, let's talk about math. This program uses Saxon Math, and it's meant to be independent, where children are, doing it on their own, and you don't even have to correct it. They can correct it themselves, and you just move on like that. Now, where I was having a hard time, and maybe other parents are, is they think, well, what am I going to do until Saxon 5.4? Just flashcards? It doesn't seem like enough, and so you might add in other things. And I had tried Saxon too early, and it was very frustrating for the kids. It was frustrating for me. It didn't work out. They didn't have their math facts memorized or anything like that, like the program recommends. And so I would do other things, and I was doing Life of Fred, which is not independent. I had to read it to them. So I wasn't really doing RC. I was trying to do RC, but I really wasn't doing it. I was adding in Life of Fred and then that wasn't enough sometimes. So I had to add in other things, and it just became overwhelming. And that's when parents just switch to something else. So if I could go back in time, I would tell myself, you're having a hard time because you're not doing it the RC way. You're trying to do it, but you're not doing it. And if you would just read the course outline like it says and have them memorize their math facts first, and then start Saxon 5.4 when they are great, strong readers that they can do it on their own, then it's going to be a whole lot easier, a whole lot better, like it is right now when we're doing it. So that's something that I would tell myself. And last but not least is spelling and grammar. Now, you can purchase the Professor K Grammar and Spelling now on Amazon or Robinson Books. That really wasn't an option, I think, 5 or 6 years ago, or I didn't know about it at least. And so if you don't have the CDs and you don't have the online access, you might be wondering to yourself, well, what about the vocabulary? And what about the grammar? And what about the spelling? You don't have it. So that's one negative of trying to do RC but not really doing it. You don't have vocabulary, grammar, and spelling. And it's the vocabulary alone, just putting all that together for all those books, that is invaluable, and it is great vocabulary. And so you could try to make your own, or you could try to do something else or use other spelling lists, but they're not matching up with the books that they're reading. And so this is why you're having a hard time. That's what I would tell myself, because it's not one cohesive program. Now you're trying to mix in bits and pieces from other places, and it's more work. It's not really, like I said, cohesive. It's not matching. And you're going to get frustrated and think, I just need to do something else. This is not working out. That's what I would tell myself back then. Having the vocabulary, having Professor K's grammar, having the spelling, and that it all just harmoniously works so perfect together with the book list is of great value, and it's so worth it. Okay, so I just touched on a few things of why you may be having a hard time: books, math, writing, vocabulary, grammar, and spelling. And so again, these are things why you might be having a hard time if you're trying to do RC, but you're not really doing RC. You haven't bought the program. And again, this is geared towards people who were in the same situation as me years ago, where, like I said, maybe they can't afford it, but there is a scholarship option. Or, they're kind of timid about it. They're like, I don't know if this is worth the $200. It looks like it's just a book list. Well, it's not just a book list. There is so much more. And now with the online bonuses, there is a whole lot more. So this video is just to encourage you that it is worth it, number one, and that it will make sense more, and that the program will all tie in so much better for you if you follow these key components. Like I said, it's a recipe, and you can, tweak the recipe, but you need the recipe, right? That's the first step. You need the plan, you need the recipe, you need majority of the ingredients, and that's what RC is. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please let me know in the comments below. Give this video a like if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I do a lot of homeschooling videos, Robinson curriculum in particular. And yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. Are you trying to do it and you haven't bought the program? Any hesitations that you may have, any questions that you may have, please let me know in the comments below. I love answering them. All right, everybody, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.